I'm Julie Bullitt. I'm a family therapist.
I'm David Bullitt, and I'm a divorce lawyer. And together we are
The Bullitts.
Bullitts. So it's February.
It is.
Right? And what happens in February?
Oh, lots of things. Snow, cold.
That wasn't what I was thinking of.
Valentine's
Day. And
the day of love.
We do a lot of chit-chatting around Valentine's
Yes,
Day.
we
Our
do.
book came out on Valentine's Day 2 years ago. So we do a lot of talking on Valentine's Day. And one of the things we talked about was this whole concept of opposites attracting, right?
Right.
Opposites attract. Do they or don't they? And where did that even come from, the whole idea? Well, I, the lawyer, not the therapist, did a little research. And in fact, there was a psychologist, now almost 60 years ago, sometime in the 1950s, who did a study, and he found that successful relationships didn't involve the similarities between the two partners like you would think. Instead, it was what he called complementarity, that their skills and their things, traits, I guess, complemented each other.
Personality traits, yeah.
So that thus gave rise to the opposites attract. I guess
Right.
I'm dirty, you're clean. We love each other. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think of all that?
Well, I think that sometimes when we seek a partner, we do seek to have things that we're maybe not good at. So for instance, I have a lot of clients that I work with that have ADHD. And oftentimes I find that they have a partner who is really good at organization and sort of acts as the executive functioning for the whole relationship.
You're talking about me?
No, I wasn't talking about you, but we could.
Okay.
So I do find that people seek out differences that they maybe are compensating or need help in. And so sometimes that is seen in relationships. However, I do believe that there needs to be a common ground, sort of core areas that you have to agree on.
Wait. Let me go off script for just a second.
Okay.
Does this at all jive with the whole love at first sight kind of thing? It's a completely different concept, right?
Well,
because you can't know whether your qualities connect in some fashion, right? Or can you?
Well, we could get into a whole discussion about the hormones and the
I like the hormone talk.
and the smells that people give off
Right.
and how that plays into it.
Right.
But that's a whole different discussion because there's a lot of
Different
science.
study.
Right, it's a different study. There is science about what scents people give off and how people are attracted to different scents, right?
Okay.
So, but what we're talking about is actually a little bit deeper into the relationship.
Okay.
So not just,
It's not just when we meet.
I think he's cute or she's pretty and let's, it has to go a little bit deeper.
Right. So this is after the first sight kind of
Yes.
thing. This is where we're trying to see whether we're
Yeah.
connecting, the
Yeah.
early dating or into the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. You're talking about the overlap.
So I think that there's some core pieces that you need to be on the same page. So you need to be similar in ethics, like what do you think is ethical? What are your values? Lots of times intelligence is something that needs to be more evenly matched because if you're highly intelligent and you're with somebody that you don't think is highly intelligent, it's hard to have conversations or hard to,
So
just
isn't your equal in that
Right.
From a
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that there's some indication that, religion, not that always needs to be the same, but that it is easier in a relationship if you have some matches in those areas.
But I'm trying to think about things, right? So there are opposites inside of that, all those big umbrellas like
Yes.
you're talking about. I mean, let's talk about us, right? I like sports, you fall asleep.
Right.
I read about politics, you'd rather not hear about it.
Right.
Right? You're into arts and crafts and games, no thanks on my end. So that's an opposite-y kind of stuff.
Right. But the main core pieces of our relationship, the main core values are the same. We value a lot of the same things. We value family, we value honesty, we value respect. And I think if those things align, then that is really helpful in a relationship. I think when differences come into play, it can be exciting, and people can manage differences if they're communicating about differences, and there's some flexibility in people's personalities. What can be difficult is if there's mismatches in some of the core stuff, people don't talk about it, or people are very wedded in their corners about the way that we do things. So for instance, you don't like games. However, if I bring out a game and there's people over, you will play it.
As long as there's some drink to have one.
Right, but what I'm saying
I
is...
know. That's
Yeah.
the compromise portion.
That's
I
the
guess.
compromise.
The willingness to reach across
Yes.
and say, okay, I'll do that because you want to.
Right.
So I mean, people in my office, how many times over the 35 years I've been doing this work have I said to you, without talking about who people are, how I have no idea how these two people even
they're mismatched.
figured it out. They're mismatched.
Right.
For whatever reason, whether it's intellectually, emotionally, where they look,
age,
where they're from, age,
yeah.
and but so again, so to me that gets back to this. Maybe it does attract in some ways, and let me just ask you another question, right?
Yeah.
Because this whole opposites attract thing, you see it on television in the movies all the time. Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Right? On Cheers, there was Sam and Diane, completely different.
That's right.
And then if you go back even further, MASH, remember Hot Lips and Frank Burns.
That's right.
I mean, what did she see in Frank Burns? We knew what he saw in her.
Right.
But so why do you think that there's so much of that? There's a lot of it's prevalent, the whole opposites.
Well, I think with TV, it's kind of exciting to see two different people, getting together.
Right.
And I think it makes people think, and it makes people, kind of expand their visions of what a relationship
Remember
could be.
Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah.
Remember the guy with the glasses?
Yeah, but
he had
interesting.
that cute, really attractive blonde. She was she was like, she fell for him, and everybody else was looking like, how is this possible?
Right, but see, that got your attention. You're still thinking about those.
Yes.
So I think in some ways
I'm thinking about her.
I think in some ways it's kind of cool to think that opposites attract, but I do think that there needs to be, if you take two circles, and I think they need to intersect, and a lot of the core really important things need to match up.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
Okay, so they kind of attract, but that's not really what a relationship is built on, being opposite.
Correct.
On the main, in the big picture.
Right. It can help. I mean, if you're an introvert and somebody's an extrovert, that can be very helpful because somebody can be making social plans and getting you out of the house and getting you to do things. So in some ways, that's good. But I think you really need to have some core values that are pretty similar, and you need to have good communication, and you need to be flexible in the way that you interact and think about these things.
Okay, well, there you have it. That's today's episode. We are the Bullits. You can find us.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day. We are the Bullits, and you can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, which I still have never looked at the Bullits on all of those locations. Follow our YouTube channel. Send us an email. See what you want to talk about. See you soon.